Welcome back to Ringside Ramble. It's me, Niall, bringing you all the latest news, views, and breakdowns from around the world of professional boxing. In this video, I'm going to be giving my kind of thoughts and reactions to the news that Naoya Inoue will return on Christmas Eve. A big Christmas Eve treat for boxing fans as he defends his undisputed super bantamweight titles against the unbeaten Australian Sam Goodman. Yeah, the fight officially set to be announced at a press conference tomorrow in Japan as I'm recording this video. So I just thought I'd give my quick reactions and thoughts. It's always an exciting announcement when Inoue is announced to be fighting anybody. You know, arguably the best pound for pound fighter in the world. At least top three, if not. But one of the absolute greats of our generation and one of the greatest of all time. The multi-weight world champion. There's not much else that needs to be said about Naoya anyway for boxing fans watching this video, to be quite honest with you. He's arguably the most well-rounded fighter I've ever seen in my life, to be honest, in terms of his balance, his speed, his footwork, his timing, his boxing IQ, and the trademark, the power. The power is absolutely ungodly. It really is. The knockout percentages for a fighter going through the weights and still carrying that power is scary. No, anyway, the undisputed, now at two-weight classes, undisputed champion, returning to the ring to face Sam Goodman. Sam Goodman, for me, I think it's a very underwhelming fight. Not to be too harsh, it's hard to make a video about it, not anyway fight announcement, and not sound disrespectful to the opponents. But that's the type of genius that we're dealing with here. It really is. Sam Goodman is. I don't particularly rate Sam Goodman that highly. Sorry to all the Australian viewers that may be watching this, but I really don't. I think he has good qualities. He has fast hands, he has fast feet, but he's just, I think he's way too hittable. He's way too kind of one-dimensional for someone like Naoya anyway, and he doesn't have the power or the physicality to push him back and really kind of test him. How I think Naoya anyway will come unstuck against somebody who has size on him, who has strength, who has power, who has speed. And the reality is Sam Goodman does nothing better than Inoue to trouble him. He really doesn't. With Sam Goodman's best attributes, Inoue does as well, if not better. And Goodman just doesn't have the power to put a dent in him. He really doesn't. And he's way too hittable. He's way too hittable for me, Sam Goodman, to survive against somebody like Naoya anyway. He really is. He doesn't. His head movement is poor. He gets clipped very easily in fights. He gets tagged. Doesn't move the head a lot off the centre line. He doesn't really manage the distance that well. He gets sloppy when he gets on the inside and has a tear up with fighters and he gets hit. So against somebody like Naoya anyway, that aggression and that sloppiness defensively will be a recipe for disaster, basically, against one of the most destructive punchers we've ever seen in the history of boxing. So I do think, he will come out aggressively, Sam Goodman, in this one to try and kind of push Inoue back like he does. He's an aggressive fighter. He has the fast hands, as I mentioned, the fast feet. But I think he'll get way too sloppy, and that aggression is what's going to lead to an early Inoue knockout for me. It might come as a shock to some people, but I think Inoue within 4 rounds beat Sam Goodman. Sam Goodman is just way too sloppy. And not also, as I kind of neglected to mention, he has the lack of head movement, but he also carries his elbows quite high when he comes into range. He carries those elbows high, leaving a lot of the body exposed. And when you leave that much of your body exposed against the absolutely sickening puncher like Naoya anyway, you're asking for disaster. So I think body work could be very key here to Naoya anyway winning this fight. It won't be hard to find Sam Goodman in this one. It really won't, whether it be the head or body. But now that I think of how much of his body leaves exposed, how much of the ribs he leaves exposed, it could be a body shot TKO, a body shot KO for the victory, For Naoya anyway, I can see him having a field day on Sam Goodman's body as well as his head. So yeah, no disrespect to Sam Goodman. As I say, it's hard to make an anyway video without sounding disrespectful to his opponents. But who beats this man? Who troubles this man? He's that great. He's that much of a genius. He's that much of a freak of an athlete and a freak of a boxer. That you have to be very, very, very special. You have to be in the top 1% of fighters to beat him. Nobody's been able to do it yet, and he's fought some world class, elite level opposition. Sam Goodman for me is not world class. He's really not. It's an underwhelming fight, as exciting as it is to see anyway. But Sam Goodman, I don't particularly rate too highly. I really don't. The resume doesn't match either. Like he hasn't beaten his best win. Credit my fellow countryman TJ Dehenny. He's beaten TJ Dehenny. Yeah, but that's his best win, and for that sort of a resume, you're not going to be kind of experienced against the elite level operators. The experience you'll need to jump in against somebody like Naoya anyway. So I think Sam Goodman, as harsh as it may sound, I think Sam Goodman's a bit of a lamb to the slaughter here in this one. He's a good fighter, not world class for me, not elite. He's not. There's other silver bantamweights other than I anyway that I think would beat Sam Goodman. Never mind just anyway. To be honest with you, as harsh as that might sound, especially to the Australian viewers listening to this, but yeah, as I mentioned, there is other 122 pounders that I do think would beat Goodman, and one of them could be a potential future opponent for Naoya anyway. Bob Arum hinted during the week, a couple of days ago now, that once they get past Goodman, there's a quote unquote mega fight or a huge fight planned for April in Las Vegas. And that only has to be one man that I can think of, surely, anyway, returning to Vegas. It'll be against Murajan Akhmadaliev. There's no other name at 122 that could be a quote unquote mega fight. He's the second best super bantamweight in the world. Well, second or third, anyway, beat Marlon Tapales, who beat Akhmadaliev, but there's only one man left at 122 that could pose any sort of a significant threat in the eye anyway, and that's Murajan Akhmadaliev. So I can see that happening in April. Yeah, I can see that happening in April in Vegas, in that mega fight that Bob Arum hinted at. So yeah, I think that'll be stateside, and I think it's a video for another day. We'll get to that when we come to it. But as much as I like Murajan Akhmadaliev, I think he's really, really clean to watch, really exciting to watch. I don't think he has anything to trouble Naoya anyway either. A bit of a spoiler there for my prediction for that fight if it was to happen in April. But I don't think he'd beat Naoya anyway. I don't think there's a challenge for him at 122 currently. But if it was to happen, a super fight potentially later on in 2025, they seem to be gearing towards Naoya anyway against Junto Nakatani, the WBC bantamweight champion. And that, for me, is an absolute super fight. And that is an absolute threat to Naoya anyway, in my opinion. Junto Nakatani, if you've watched my videos on him on the channel before, I'm just fascinated by him. He's one of my favourite fighters. He's absolutely incredible. He's an elite pound for pound talent who can do it all. He can, he's big, rangy, fast, beautiful feet, can box, can fight on the inside, and has huge punching power. And I think those attributes will be the attributes that will trouble Naoya anyway. Junto Nakatani, of course, just defended his WBC bantamweight title against Tasana Salapak. And there's rumours now that he'll take a fight with Andrew Maloney in the meantime, while Inoue fights Goodman and probably Akhmadaliev. And then if Inoue gets through those, and Junto gets through Andrew Maloney, which he should do, no disrespect, it's going to be set up for an absolutely, the biggest sporting occasion in Japanese history, the biggest fight in the history of Japanese boxing by far. And I think there's no reason why Junto Nakatani couldn't beat Naoya anyway. I really don't. I might catch flack for saying that, especially, bantamweight coming up, but Junto Nakatani is that good. He's absolutely that good. Inoue would be the favourite, rightly so, but Junto could definitely beat Naoya anyway. I've no doubts about it. You know, if Inoue wins that, he'd be up the weight again to featherweight more than likely. But you know, that's a real test against Junto Nakatani, and that will be in Japan. Like, there's no question about it. That's why I say the Murodjon Akmadaliev fight will be likely in Vegas. You know, you can't do a mega fight between Inoue and Junta, which is what it'd be. You can't do that in Las Vegas. You just can't. It'll make no sense. It sells out the Tokyo Dome in Japan twice over. It's that big of an occasion, that big of a fight. So hopefully Inoue gets through Sam Goodman, which he will, and then gets through Akhmadaliev, which will be more of a test, but I think he will get through Akhmadaliev. So if he gets through those fights, Junta gets through Andrew Maloney. In the meantime, you know, we're on a collision course for an absolute super fight, an absolute epic at 122 between Inoue and Junta Nakatani. But both men have business to take care of in the meantime, so we look forward to that. As I say, my reaction and just a prediction, a quite brutally honest prediction for the December 24th Christmas Eve treat for boxing fans. You know, Naoya anyway, the monster by name, monster by nature, returns to the ring to defend his undisputed super bantamweight titles against the unbeaten Australian challenger Sam Goodman in Japan, Christmas Eve. It's going to be a cracker. It always is when Naoya anyway steps through the rope. So, yeah, let us know what you think in the comments. You know, how excited are you to see Inoue back? Does Goodman pose more of a threat than I'm giving him credit for? Am I grossly underrating Sam Goodman? Let me know. Am I being too disrespectful? And yeah, how does other fights go for Inoue? Does he beat Akhmadaliev in April, which is the likely April Vegas fight? And if it was to come to a super fight with Junto, how does it go? Does Junto come out on top, or does Inoue continue his greatness, his great legacy? You know, let us know what you think. And as always, don't forget, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. I'd really appreciate it. Trying to grow the page, so I really appreciate the subscribers that have hit the button already. I'm so grateful. So keep it going now. Whoever's watching this, please subscribe, give the video a like, follow us over on X. Always great content there and to engage with, you know, and on here as well. So yeah, get involved, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And you know, thanks for watching. Speak again and take care.